Tanya with Red Cardinal Crafts, and this is the state of my craft room currently. So I'm going to do a 10-second tidy, well, 10-minute tidy, and I'll be back. All right, that's so much better. All tidied up over here. My desk is tidy. So now, let's see what we want to do today. My wrist is really sore, and I took off my thing, and now I figure, oh, it's over there. All right, how you doing, guys? How was your long weekend? I turned 50. I had a really hard time with 50. Yeah, it was, it's a lot. It's a lot. Cheers. This is something that my family got to me, a lovely Yeti container, because my other one made horrible noises when I drank out of it, so they got me this kind. And they got me a beautiful bouquet of balloons, and Scott found them on Facebook, and beautiful daisies. I love daisies, which Scott made sure there were 50 daisies. I thought that was really sweet. And yeah, I got some AirPods and a hockey jersey and some jammies. So it was a beautiful, beautiful day. And well, no, it was horrible. It was gray and rainy, but I was hanging out with the family and we had a really good time. So it was a very nice birthday. Today, what I'm thinking about doing, I don't know if I want to work on Totoro or if I want to show you guys this. Now, I've been watching a lot of journals and stuff on YouTube, so maybe we'll do this. All right, let me get set up. I'll flip the camera and I'll show you guys how I'm going to do the pages of one of these with pages that I ripped, and how you can put your journal together. All right, let me flip a camera and we'll get working here. Okay, before we get started on this book, I just want to show you, when you're looking for these books at a secondhand store or whatever, what you're kind of looking for. So this one here, I've already started taking the pages out, but these ones are just separate pages that have been glued together. So they peel away like this. All right, so some of the books are like that, and it's kind of hard to tell, but if you look here at this one, you can see that there aren't separate signatures. Now let me stand up and hold this up so you can see. See how they're all just kind of glued together? And I'll show you the difference with another book. This one here, they are in signatures, and you can see how it's like 3 separate things, and the pages loop around each other. Now this one I started to tear apart, but see what I mean? There's like, they're all double pages that have been put together in a signature, and then it's in 3 separate signatures and put in the book. If it's like this, you can kind of open it up and there's like strings, and you can trim these strings, and I'm not going to, I've already trimmed some of them. I'm not going to actually do this. I was thinking I would. Well, let me try. It's just I don't want to screw up my wrist too bad. But as you start to peel it down, there's like this cardboard spine that's in here, and you can kind of tear that away. I'm ripping the outside of this book a little bit, but that's fine. That doesn't really bother me all that much. But if you can get a hold of this little spine part and get that out of there, the book might just come away from that. Hang on. So it takes some fiddling, and you can use a knife, which would be better than what I'm trying to do here. Some people are just going to have to look away because this is tragic to some people seeing books torn apart. But it's all good. We're repurposing them and making them into something special. So you can just keep trimming. Just be very careful. Don't cut yourself. And I recommend doing this when you don't have a sore hand. There we go. We got it. All right. So now I peel up as much of this little cardboard spine as I can, because you're going to put your own piece of chipboard in, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So just peel that up as much as you can, and just won't make it as thick. So now that that's gone, instead of having a spine that's this narrow, it's now going to open up and it's going to be this thick, okay? And you're going to put a piece of chipboard in, but like I said, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, this is all kind of glue and string, so just peel this away. And then what you're left with are these 3 separate signatures. And then it's easier when you're working with a book like this, because you just have to lay your pages in instead of creating like a 2-page spread, which again, I'm about to show you with the Animal Kingdom book. All right, okay. So here we go. That wasn't pretty, but it's done. Okay, so here are the signatures. Let me show you. There's still some strings holding this together. All right. So there's one. Now I did get a hole in that, but that's all right. Let me just cover it with some paper. Here's the other one, and here's the other one. Okay, so that's one whole signature. So when you're putting your extra papers in, you could just lay some there, then lay down your page, lay some extra papers there that you want to add, lay your page down and add some extra papers there. So that's one whole signature, and then you've got 2 more here. And you can be more careful than what I'm being right now, but I'm just trying to do this quick just to show you. There, okay. So now we've got this next set of signatures, and again, you want to peel away this extra little cardboard and glue, but you get the idea. And then here's your next set of signatures. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. So you see that just because this page is attached to this page doesn't mean that that's the order it comes in. See what I mean? This is the order it comes in. So when we're putting the pages together for this, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that you're taking the front page and the back page and you're sticking them together, and that makes the first signature. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, clear as mud. Okay. All right, let's move on, and I'll show you how I was doing the pages in this. Okay, I'm back. I actually worked off camera. I wanted to try to figure this out before I started showing you guys and getting you all confused. All right, your book is now without its pages. Let's move that over there. And what you do is you measure this space through here with the book opened up completely wide, because this is the normal width of the binding, but we're going to open it up now that the pages are out, and we're going to make a thicker thing. You know what I mean? We're going to make it thick through here. So like this one, I made it thick, and I added a piece of chipboard along the spine. So let me get a piece of chipboard and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so I just trimmed this to, it's an 1 1/8 inches wide by about 10 1/4. So that is going to go on here, and then that way our book will be wider, okay? And when you're doing this, when you're trimming this for the width, you just want to make sure your book will close, okay? You don't want it so wide that the side of the side of your book won't go up. Okay, so now just cover it in glue. And just lay that down. And as you're putting it down, make sure those sides of the book can go up. And then while that's drying, you're going to take a piece of paper you would like to use. And I think I'll use this one because it's fun. We're just going to trim that so that it'll cover over it. Take a touch, a little touch more. Okay, so this measures 10 1/4 by 2 inches. And that's just going to go on there. But before I do that, I'm going to score it. So I just want to make a couple score marks just so when I lay it down, it's already done. Oops. And so I'm scoring it at 3/8, and then again at 5/8. I'm terrible at measuring. When I was in school, I used to just call these dit-dits. It'd be like 1 3 dit-dits. I never knew they were measurements until I was like, oh my gosh, like late 20s. And I worked at a print shop, and the girl was measuring, and she goes, oh yeah, that's 1 1/8. And I'm like, what? She's like, do you not know how to use a ruler? I'm like, no. She's like, how did you get through life and art school without knowing how to use a ruler? Well, it was tricky, but I did it. All right. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to glue this down. And my Magic Kingdom book, I ended up putting it all together and forgot to cover this. So I had to take them back out, which is good because when you do the signatures, you can always take them apart if you needed to, because the strings are just there and they tie in the middle of certain pages. Can we even find one? Yeah, like that. You just tie them. So if you had to add something, you can always take it apart and add it if you needed to. And again, when you're doing this stage, see when you flip it up, it's going to curl those papers. So just press it down and just kind of getting it used to bending. And then stretch it back out again. So bend it forward and lay it back down. And you almost end up stretching the paper a little bit. And you can go down with your bone folder into that crease a little bit. Mine's lifting up a little bit, so I need some more glue. All right. So like I said, just keep moving it open and close until you get that nice and sealed and glued down. And it'll loosen up after a while, but just every time you lift it up, make sure it's glued against the spine. All right. So I'm just going to lay that flat for a little bit and let it dry. All right. So now we have our set of signatures, but now we want to do the next set of signatures. So we'll move this over, and you take the book in the order that the pages are in. So I'm going to do the amount of pages that I want my signatures, like the thickness that I want my signatures to be. So I'm just going to still go in the order of the book. And some of your pages might be stuck together, like these ones are still stuck together, so you just peel them. But this seems thick enough for the next signature, and I only want to do 3 for this book. Okay, so keep them in order. And you're going to take the first page, and you're going to take the last page, and you're going to move this section and just move it away for a minute. And then you're going to stick these pages together. But what I'm going to do first is just trim this. My God, I haven't used a trimmer in so long. I keep flipping it the wrong way. All right, so I'm just going to trim this just to get rid of those rough edges there. Okay. So now I moved it, so now I forget. Okay, it has to go this way. Okay, so this is the front page and this is the back page. And we're going to stick them together. And I'm going to use my zigzag paper. This one here. Okay, and I want to trim it to about 2 inches wide. Like that. And you could sit there and make a whole bunch of these while you've got the trimmer out. And then I'm going to stick them together. So I could either do it like this, or I can do it on the back side of them. And it's just going to depend on what you actually want to cover up. Do you want to cover up more of these pictures and it'll be like this, or do you want to cover up these pictures? And I think I'm going to cover up those ones on the back. So I'm just going to run some glue along just a 1/2 inch of this page. And I'm going to lay it down on there. And then I'm going to do the same with this page. And just like a 1/2 inch of it. And I'm going to lay that down. And I've got roughly about 1/2 inch in the middle here between the 2 pages. Excuse me. And then I've got a little too much just trim off the excess. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for this to dry a little bit. And then all you're gonna do is fold it and just bring these pages to match up with each other. You're just gonna lay it down. And fold. And there you go. You've made a little signature. So now you do that with the next pages. Okay, so now you take your book, you take the first page, and you take the back page. Just put the rest aside. Move this one out of the way for a minute. Again, I want to trim some of the book pages got trimmed and some didn't. One of these papers. And again, just about 2 inches. Make a couple of these while I'm here. And you can use different papers. I'm just using these ones for now because it's easier and that's what's here. All right, so again, there's words on this page. So do I want to cover those up or do I want to cover this? And I'm going to choose to cover some of the picture. I just moved that because I have to trim the top off and I would have had the pages crooked. All right, like that. And then again, just put your pages together. Still don't think I have that page going in the right direction, but that's fine. And then this is going to be the next signature and it goes in like that. Okay, and then we'll do the next one. So again, take the first page and we'll take the last page and stick these together. Let me trim the pages first. And it's just a junk journal. Like, it's not supposed to be completely perfect. It's just supposed to be fun. You're cutting up old books. So again, we just bring the pages up to the edge and we fold her down. And then that's the next set of pages. And then there you go. And there's the inside one. And those are your signatures. So the book is still intact. And then when it lines up with the first ones you did, here it is here. And then this is your second signature and it joins up. And then what I'm gonna do is add more of my papers. So I'm gonna put one on the outside here. And I might have to put some more glue on that particular one. There you go. And then I'm going to open it and I'm going to add another thing of paper. Actually, I've used that one. Do I have another one? Ooh, this one, a little alligator. And that one can go there. And then I open it and is this one folded yet? Nope, I can. And I'll score this one at 4 inches. Actually, I'll do it down this end. And I'll put this one right here. Oh no, I wanted the elephant paper, didn't I? Did I use the elephant paper yet? I don't think I did. I want the elephant paper because there's an elephant there. And then we'll open this one. And we'll go like that, and then we'll go like that. So let's see what she looks like. So this next signature is going to look like this. And then it's going to be stitched through the middle. And then these are what the other pages look like. Like that. And if I'm feeling like, ooh, this one has only short pages coming off this end, you can always switchy changey and flip that one around. And then now it's like a longer or a more decorative page there. So there's 2 signatures. And that's what they're going to look like. And your book is still in its order. And then I have the last section of signatures, and you're just going to do it the same way. So this is your back page, this is your front page, and so on and so on and so on. And then what I do is when I go to make my signatures, I want to make like a template. This is stiffer now because the glue's hardening up. And if I have a little sliver like this and I can't fit my glue in there, I just do this. I put a little bit of glue on that little piece of paper, and then I just run it underneath. And it puts some glue on there for you. I got a little bit here that rubbed off. There we go. All right, so now this is a little template that I had made for my my golden books. So I'm going to make one out of this piece of chipboard that wasn't long enough. So I'm just going to measure. So my book is like 10 1/4, so I want to do 5 1/8, thereabouts is the center. So I want to find my center hole, and then I'm going to come in about 1 inch and put a dot there, and then same with this end, come in about 1 inch, and I'm going to put a dot there. And because I'm doing 3 signatures, I'm going to space them and put 3 dots, and then 3 dots for here. And then whenever I do a template, I just write template for Disney journals. All right, and then we're going to use our handy dandy, this is a crocodile. Okay, so I'm going to punch the holes in this thing first. This should be fun. Oh, that's actually not bad. So I just punch the holes. And then when I work on my other journals, I'll have this as my template to know where I put the holes. And I had one before. I don't know what I did with it. So then when you go to use it on your book, you just line it up, and then you can just mark the holes. And then you're not trying to like line it up as you do it. Okay, oh, that one didn't mark. 1 moment, please. Okay, so my holes are there. So now I can, again, punch them out. There we go. So now we got the holes poked in. And now what you want to do with your signatures is grab the ones that you want and make sure you have all the pages that you want. This is kind of a small thing. Let me add one more page to this. It just doesn't feel thick enough. Square it that way. That. And let's see. Maybe on here. Just test it. See how that looks. Oh, that's fun. Cool. All right. So now find the center, And you should use some clips. This is a little extra. I took all our little clips upstairs. So when I file paperwork and stuff away, we have little clips if we need to keep any papers together. But you can just do this and just hold it together so your papers don't shift when you go to poke your holes. All right, and then you're going to take your template and you're going to go right in the center, and you're just putting one row of holes here. And I'm just going to line mine up, and where'd my pencil go? And I'm just going to line it up, and then I'm just going to do them across from where they are. Also make sure it's right on the crease, but the same distance down. Like that. Okay. Then you're gonna poke your holes. Ouch. Like that. And then I just use string. I have this ball of string, and I have my needle that I misplace all the time. Here it is. That's what I used to poke through my glue. All right, so you take your string and just a big bent needle, and I'm gonna poke it down through the center first, and then we got to go through the book. So I'm doing the far left side because this is the front of the book. So I'm gonna poke it through there, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go through the top of the book and top of the signature, and then I'm going to go back down through here and back down through the same hole and pull it through, and then I'm going to go in the bottom through the book and through the paper. And just find the end, and then so I don't waste a whole bunch of string, I just adjust it like that. And I'm just going to trim this off, and then just tighten as much as you can. Here's the string running along the outside, and you just tie it in a knot, in a couple knots actually. Just tie it tight. Tie it again, and tie it again. And there you go. You take the clips off. And there you go. You get your first signature in your book. Right like that. And then you can put the second signature in and the third signature in. So I hope that helped explain how to do this, and especially if you have a book that you just have single pages and they're not already in signatures. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish doing this one, and I'll do the same thing. I'll line up the holes and thread it through the book, and that'll be that section. And then I still have to do this one, and then the book will be done and all ready to put in all of our memories from Animal Kingdom. Hope you guys like that tutorial. I hope that helps explain like what to do when you have just single sheets of paper. And yeah, and how to put them in your Disney book. And then at the end of all this, I'll have a whole collection of all my Disney memories in all their little books. So I hope you guys like this tutorial, and I hope you guys are healthy, happy, and safe, and good, and everything's fine. And I'll be back with some more videos soon. All right, take care, guys. See ya.